Welcome, Kazim. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us in this interview. To begin with, could you please introduce yourself?
So I did my bachelor's at Dell, that's my undergrad, and then followed by PhD at McGill under Professor Masad Dama. I wrapped up experimentation and stuff like that back in 2002, but I graduated in 2003 because I went and I started working before I had defended my thesis. And if you ask Professor Dama about it, he will tell you an interesting story. Wrote my thesis while I was working, which I would not recommend. All right, it's not fun. After that, started working in the pharmaceutical industry out west for a company called Evonik Degussa. And then after that, changed career paths and went into intellectual property law. And currently partner and patent agent at Rideout Maybe, one of Canada's oldest IP firms.
So immediately following your PhD, you decided to transition out of academia. So what made you make this decision?
Academia was quite interesting to me. However, my personal circumstances, I had a family and stuff like that, and trying to go through one, if not more, postdocs before I may be able to find something in academia just didn't make sense. And that's partly why I said, okay, this from a financial perspective and the structure and setup, it just doesn't make sense.
Can you describe how you got to your current career position?
Becoming a patent agent is challenging. There are 4 exams to pass. Passing rate's really low. It's not that it's designed this way, it's just because of the overall situation. People are working and you're trying to study, and these exams are these exams are very different from most exams that people take. The other aspect that was really important was from a personality perspective, just going out, meeting people, interacting, because at the end of the day, it is a business where we provide a service.
What skills do you think really carried over from your PhD work to now and really helped you get to where you are?
Being able to understand the technology. When a person does a PhD or a high level degree, one of the things that we have to understand and realize is that we also learn to teach ourselves different things. So we learn how to learn, and we're open to that aspect. Being analytical and going into the details and understanding what's happening, that becomes really important. Because we're dealing with inventions, we have to understand the important aspects of it that can come together and function. On the other hand, if you're trying to navigate a patent minefield to protect somebody or have them work around an invention, again, it's important to go into the details, going into the examples as to what's happening, what's important. As chemists and PhDs, we tend to go into one aspect, but then we'll digress into a second aspect relating to it and understanding it more broadly and completely. Well, that's good and bad at the same time. Good in this perspective that we are able to get a broader understanding of what's happening and provide more value, but we have to be conscious of the fact that there are both time and cost limitations, and what is the exact question that we're trying to address.
What should students know when seeking jobs outside of academia or outside of research?
So if you're worried about it in terms of things not working out, everything coming crashing down, don't. Get rid of that fear. That's completely useless. Put a list of what you don't want to do, because that really helps get rid of all the garbage that you're not interested in. Then you're left with something that you can possibly do, and you'd be okay to do. What are aspects of you of yourself that you enjoy? Do you like interacting with people? Do you like interviewing people? Do you like engaging with people, or do you want to be aloof from everybody? And based on those qualities, then look at what sort of opportunities are out there that are remaining that gel well with your character.
What are your thoughts on work-life balance? And how do you achieve your own balance, and how has it evolved since your time during grad school?
It's terrible. If you're asking for work-life balance from someone like me, you're asking the wrong guy. I want to spend more time with my family. It's critical to me that I really want to, engage and bond with them and build. And I'm probably not the best person to ask this. If you figure it out, do let me know. It's not fair on a number of levels. We shouldn't have a society structure where it is that there is such an imbalance.
If you could go back in time and give the graduate student version of yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't only focus on your grad studies. The thought is propagated that this is everything critical for you at this point, pushing for papers and stuff like that. All that is important. I'm not trying to belittle those aspects, that your research is important, your publishing is important, but there's a lot more to life than just, working all the time and being in a lab. Spend time doing other stuff. Learn about what other things that people do out there.
Thank you so much for taking your time to both take part in the interview and take part in the podcast.
Happy to help.